Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about how to appropriately handle a crested gecko. I've got Chili here, and I will be teaching you how to handle it. Obviously, I will have to use two-handed to show you exactly how to do specific ways of handling them and not what you should and shouldn't do. So I have to use both hands. I've only got one hand because my other hand's holding my camera. So I've got this new tripod. Like I said, I was getting in the other video, so I'm just going to attach it up to this, set it up, and then I'll be back to show you exactly how to appropriately handle a crested gecko. 1 second. Okay, I'm back, and as I said, I'm going to be showing you how to appropriately hold a crested gecko. Come on, Chili. So here is my crested gecko, and he's on the tripod. He's literally on the tripod. He's on the tripod. And okay, 1 second. That didn't take him long to get on there. But anyway, I'm going to be showing you how to appropriately hold a crested gecko and what you should and shouldn't do. So, a good way to start is always remain calm whilst holding a crested gecko, especially if it's new, as they may be a bit more skittish and a bit more jumpy, and you don't want to scare them. If you're obviously scared of them, or you get a bit nervous whilst holding them, they're going to probably sense that, which is very amazing how they can do that. And you should always remain calm whilst holding a crested gecko. When doing this, you're showing them that you're calm and you're trusting of them, and that you won't harm them. If you are not calm, then they may think they're in danger, and they can sense it. So it's better to stay calm whilst holding them, just like I am now. Just remaining calm, making sure they're okay and they're safe. Another good thing to do is to be sure that you are low down, not high up in the air, such as I'm on my bed at the moment. Just on my duvet, so if he jumps off, then he'll just jump onto my bed. However, if you are from a height, or if you're on a table and he does jump off and he goes into the floor, they're very, very hardy creatures, animals, and they will most likely be fine. They're very, very great when it comes to falling on the floor. Just be sure this doesn't happen often, as obviously it will harm them over time. But if just as a one-off, you shouldn't be too scared. They're very hardy creatures, and they should be very much fine. Chili's just having a bit of a walkabout at the moment. Another good thing to consider is always have your hand out, ready for them to come anywhere. And you shouldn't be too worried about where they're going to be going, because it's very obvious. Wherever their head is, they will most likely go. Won't go backwards, they always go forwards in the same direction their head is facing. So if he's facing this way, he doesn't want to move at the moment, but if he's facing this way, I'll go here. If he's facing over here, oh, see, he went that way. Should have had my hand there, but it's fine. I got my bed there, so it's fine. But he will always go the same way that his mouth is facing. So, come on, each other. No, well, so you should always do. And yeah, so these guys are also semi-prehensile, meaning that they can grasp things with their tail or other appendages, as the definition states, but this time it's for the tail. So the tail can actually grasp onto things. See, as his tail is grabbing onto my finger, it's got like a pad, just like his pads do. He has them on his tail. Oh. He has them on his tail as well, so you need to be looking out for that. Just be careful when messing with the tail, as they have a tendency to drop it. They have a tendency to drop their tail. It's normal. It can happen with a stressed out crested gecko. It can happen through moving, for example, or just handling them, which is why you should always correctly handle them, which is why I'm sending this video out. It can also just happen just randomly, just because they just think, oh, well, today I want to drop my tail. So this can happen basically whenever. So you need to be careful with that. So I wouldn't handle their tail too often. Obviously, if they get used to you, you can do. You know, I can do that now, and he'll be fine. Do this now. Look, he grabs onto it. He grabs onto my finger, as you can see. He's fine. I'll just show you a better angle here. Yeah. Oh, Chili. a very jumpy animal. So yeah, he'll just grasp onto my finger, but he's fine, he won't drop it because he's used to me. So another thing you need to keep in mind as well, if you're getting a new crested gecko, they may not be used to you straight away, so I would allow them to accumulate to your enclosure that you've got for them for the next couple of weeks, making sure they're pooing, making sure they're eating. The best way of knowing if they're eating is if they're pooing, so make sure you get that sorted. And when it is sorted, then I would start handling them, maybe just for 5 minutes a day. Oh, 1 second. Yeah, for just 5 minutes a day start off with, and then maybe up to 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and work your way up slowly but surely to allow them to get used to you and who you are, so they can understand if you're, going to kill them or not, I suppose. They need to understand whether they're food to you or if they're a friend. He's just hooking his tail around me again, grasping on. You need to make sure that you're careful with that. Also, I don't currently own a baby crested gecko, but baby crested geckos are slightly different. If you do own a baby crested gecko, I would be very, a bit more aware of where they are, and you've got to always try and work out where they're going to be going and stuff, because they're a lot more skittish and jumpy than the adult ones, and they tend to jump all over the place and run around. The best way of sorting this out, even with adult crested geckos, is I'm not sure exactly what it's called, what you do, but where you put your hand in front, let them walk onto the hand. Oh, he doesn't want to do that today, but you just let them walk onto the hand. And then you do it again, put your hand in front, and let them walk onto this hand. And you let them keep walking over and letting them train, letting them move. Around maybe put your hand a bit further away, let them try and jump. He doesn't want to jump today, I don't think, but so yeah, just let them understand who you are and let them get used to you. I would say definitely do not hold too tight. If you're going to hold on to him or her, definitely do not hold too tight, because they're very sensitive. Like they're very hardy creatures, however their bodies are very soft. As you can tell, they're very soft, so you have to be very gentle with them. So that's why I let them rest on me. I don't just grab him. You can pick him up like this, but then let him just even out again, So you want to pick him up like this, that's fine, but just let him get used to it again and go flat. Let him just walk around again. Don't get too hard with him. Definitely don't if you're used to your animal, this shouldn't be a problem. However, it's advised not to, just in case they do decide to drop their tail. But I wouldn't pick them up by their tail, like just by putting your finger underneath and just picking them up, because they will grasp onto you. However, it could be dangerous, as it could obviously let the tail drop off, which it won't kill them, but it will knock them off balance a bit. When the tail comes off, they'll go a bit off balance. What are you doing? But they are an arboreal species, meaning that they do like to go up high. So if they start walking up your arm, don't panic. Either get them off your arm just by using your other arm, picking them up like this. So either picking them up like this off your arm, or I'll get somebody else to do it. I'll just let them walk up to your arm and let them walk around you. They'll probably try and go to your head, because obviously they think with safety and they need to go higher. Which is why in the wild they like going up trees, which is why their enclosures are also tall, so they can climb up high. And just make sure that you keep that in mind. Never panic though when that happens, because it will scare them. Also, when you're handling them, I would advise not having lots of people in the area, like maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 at a push if you want to, have somebody with you to help. But 10, 15 people, any more than that, that's too much, way too much. It will frighten the animal. And make sure, speaking of animals, make sure there's no other animals, maybe a cat or a dog in the room, just because the dog or the cat may think food. And obviously to the gecko it's a predator species, so they will get frightened very quickly and nervous and may drop their tail off. So you need to be careful about that. Also, when handling them, make sure there's no noises or any loud noises in the background. Especially when you first get the crested gecko, make sure it's not allowed around their enclosure for the first few couple of weeks, just to be sure that they're okay. Just make sure that they're getting used to their enclosure and relaxing first, and then after that's happened, I'm not saying go really loud, but you don't have to worry too much after that. I would advise when handling the crested gecko, it should be say about 15 minutes a day. After they've got used to a couple of minutes, and maybe 6 to 7 minutes and 10 minutes, get to about 15 minutes, and then I'd probably stay holding it for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes a day. But I'd do it only maybe four-ish times a week. I wouldn't do it every single day. You've got to leave them sometimes to relax and just in their enclosure. Any questions about this and handling crested geckos, please leave them in the comments. I will be sure to answer them. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I've covered everything. Like I said, if you do have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Subscribe if you want to watch more. I'll be releasing more educational based videos in the future about crested geckos and how to look after them, etc. Turn the notifications on to get notified when I do upload. Like I said, I do not have a proper video schedule as of now, but it's going to be roughly 1 video a week, and then I'll be upping it to 2 and 3 when I get some of my college assignments out of the way. This has been Chili, and I'm Ben, and I hope you've learned something from this video. If you think I've done anything wrong, or if you think you need to comment on something that you're wondering, please let me know, and I will be sure to get back to you. Bye.